U.S. intelligence agency, mind control.
Let's get to news.
I would go so far as to say, like,
this is news.
Mm-hmm.
He's a journalist. He's interviewed politicians.
I know. Well, this is news. This is just him in a clip compilation for us, so we don't have, like,
Yeah.
whatever he shows
the
here.
Chinese government
We know we won't have to show if it's on our playlist.
Exactly.
would not be fond of, right? Whereas I myself have been called a Chinese agent.
You are.
A million times over.
Hang on, Hasan, you are.
It's fucking banned.
Hang on.
Not an agent. He's a useful idiot.
Yeah, no, he is an agent. This is how we define it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A person who acts on behalf of another person or group. That's it. You are definitely a Chinese agent. You are a CCP agent. Well, that's why the whole point when I talk about information warfare, it's about creating agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
People want to think it's their own opinion. He doesn't realize that he's under the control of someone else. That's the whole point of information warfare, is to implant these ideas.
Yeah. Subversion.
Yeah. So
you got incepted, bitch.
Unwilling or willing, it doesn't matter. You don't have. There's like the paid agent. That's different.
Yeah, because I always had the assumption that it was only the paid ones that would be.
Nope.
Qualified.
I mean, I'm sure people think that, and that's what they mean. But
interesting. I'm going to start using that very liberally.
Oh, I do. I always say agents. Also AI is agents too. That's literally what it's. Well, so like when you do like for example, like the the Alpha Star stuff, where it's like you train AI it's a learning AI where they like do a video game and they do it over and over and learn.
Yeah.
Every instance is a new agent, right? So like it's the agent, like it has different personalities.
Right, because it's learned from the last time and it's evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And all the time. I get banned nonstop. So how does this work?
Ban him permanently, please.
I want to turn to you.
Dude, everyone is like, what happened in Tiananmen Square?
You're familiar with China's 2017 National Intelligence Law, which states, quote, all organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with national
Now, let me be clear. Let me get some pretext here on what this hearing's about. Okay. This hearing was started by mothers whose children have committed suicide from social media.
Because of TikTok.
No. It's all of them are there. Zuck, TikTok. It's only two companies agreed to like go forward with like the legislation, right?
Yeah.
Out of all the social media. Now, you tell me what two are those. You'll never guess.
LinkedIn.
That's a pretty good guess, but I don't think they were there because it's children stuff.
Okay.
So it's like one of the things is like
the two that agreed, YouTube and
I don't think YouTube was there.
How?
It's like traditional social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok.
Snapchat and Facebook. Then
Facebook would have been them all. It's Linda Yaccarino agreed to it, whatever her name is. Yeah, this Twitter CEO, which is so funny because this is literally like the thing is literally like anti-free speech.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if you're like for this or against it. One of the issues that you can bring up here is that it's one of the things that it's doing to make kids safer online is anti-free speech.
Yes.
Right. Which is just funny because Elon Musk's whole grift.
Yeah.
So instead of these, literally, it's all these mothers here who organized are now there who have lost their children to social media. Right. And instead, these knuckleheads are going to be up here talking about how the Chinese Communist Party controls TikTok and is destroying the youth's mind and making them trans and stuff.
Thanks, YouTube. Great workplace.
The law and shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of.
Yes, I'm familiar with this.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance. Is ByteDance subject to the law?
I mean, dude, honestly, this kind of shit is so wild because like I get hit with this and I'm not like I'm not Asian, you know what I mean? I'm the type of Asian that's white and not fucking the type of Asian that you think of when you think of Asian people, right? So even then, it's like, yeah, I'm West Asian, I'm Caucasian, right?
Oh my
So,
god.
It has
Oh my
nothing to do
god.
with, like, me.
It's
Oh
true,
my
though.
god. Oh my
West Asian
god.
in the way
He's
that
not
you
wrong.
know,
Oh my
god.
like,
Did he just call himself
Pakistani people
Asian
or
because
Afghan people, I'm talking, like,
Caucasian
straight.
has Asian in its
No,
in its
he
name?
was making a joke. That was a
Oh
joke.
my god, I fucking Jesus
He was saying
Christ.
I'm West Asian, and then he joked I'm Caucasian because it's the mountains of Caucasus are right there,
My god.
right? Because like Caucasian is literally like Chechens.
I was about to walk off. Jesus Christ. Because there are some people that would legitimately do that. 100%
Yeah.
there would be.
No, he was making a joke for
Straight up.
sure.
In America, when you say Asian, you're thinking of East Asian, okay? And even then, people are like, I bet you have no answer for the Tiananmen Square massacre, silly libtard. Yeah, I fucking got you. And
I
it's
don't
like,
care.
people literally will say this, even if you are remotely, even if they cast you as like remotely pro China, because you are I don't know, cutting through
You know
some
why
of
we
the
call it?
noise
You know
when
why
it comes
Caucasian
to
is a thing? Why that term came to be in America?
Because of skull science.
No, but yes. I mean, like I'm talking about something completely different. So if you actually look at the U.S. Census, it's wild. Some states have actually changed it to be less racist, but traditionally before
They used
World
to
War
take-
II, the census said Aryan or Caucasian.
Okay.
So now it just says white Caucasian instead of Aryan
okay.
Caucasian, right? So they
Interesting.
took that word out there. But guess what? There's some other words that they put as defining other races that are still in there that you'd be
Like?
surprised. Aryan, oh, we can't use the one that offends white people, but all the rest keep them in there. Like some states have wild things that they say where it's like you know, like it's not necessarily African American is not necessarily what you check. It might say something else there.
Mhm.
And if it does say African American, it might be like it will give you like terms, like defining terms, like you know, from blah blah, or like you know, like Haiti, it would define like wherever Haiti is. Where well, I don't know
Okay.
how you would define that, right? But then there's like certain words in there that should just not be in any type of census at
Census.
all. You know,
Yeah.
like really, really racially charged terms that are still in some of these censuses. It's crazy.
all of the insanity surrounding China. Like when I talk about even development
Okay, a system of a down
in
white,
China.
according to the U.S. Census, yes, but that's worthless.
Where are they from?
White, they're from Armenia. White is not a thing. You know, it's like
Are they actually?
European. Yeah, it's like European. We know what European is, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're white. Armenians are white. It's literally
but like
the Caucasus Mountains.
North African are defined as white in the U.S. Census. Like everyone in the like West Asia is defined as white in the census. Like,
Well, like in Middle East.
yep, most
Really?
Afghans would be white on the census.
That's so funny because I was having a discussion with someone that I know, and I was trolling, right? I was fucking with him, right? Because he's like flat earther, sort of racial type person, right? I was fucking with him. I'm like naming places, and I'm like, are they white? I'm like, I'm going around the thing, and I'm like, North Africans white? People from Libya, from Egypt. He's like, no. I'm
But
like, why?
it just makes more sense to say you're North African.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And
Just
like
say a
so like you
regional
know how
thing, right?
we watched that thing the other day from the Young Turks where there was like the guy was like, you know, like I wish I could just say I was Italian. You know how he'd say like more people are just identifying where they're from. That's the type of shit we're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
Eastern European. I'm
Mhm.
North Asian, aka Russian.
Yeah. Like it just makes sense to be more of a demographic thing, like location wise, of a geographic thing, sorry, than a skin color thing. I think we're beyond that. And when we stop doing that, I think that dissolves the racial factor that sits in the middle of
Yeah,
society.
and like America sorts everyone into 5 categories, and it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because isn't it like white, black, Hispanic, Asian, and Middle Eastern?
Yeah, so like so though a lot of places where it will say white Hispanic instead of white Caucasian now, depending.
Interesting. Because I also asked the question
Here,
of like
here's a Reddit map. Not
South
the best source
America.
I know.
Because I
But
also asked like South America and Central America, are they white? And I'm like, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's an interesting question.
so
What
this is
like
the U.S.
it's
Census's terms. Wild, bro.
okay.
What is it? A risk board? Come on.
American Indian, Asian Black, Pacific Islander. Pacific Islander, boy.
Right? Isn't that funny? So like the
I'm
Aboriginals
gonna
are
get some
Pacific
Maori tattoos
Islanders,
now.
according to them. You know, they're the same thing as like Somalians on the U.S.
That's wild. That's so wild.
Right? So like this is why this shit is outdated. Like this when we talk about like race being like a construct and stuff, we need to look at how far behind some shit like the
Uh-huh.
US Census is.
Yeah.
Cuz like
This
this
is
is so
insane.
reductive.
It's so crazy. Well, I'm actually curious though. Would you call South Americans white?
No, you could, like if you're Afghan, according to the US Census, you are white. Like I said, it literally it goes like I think Pakistan is the cutoff here. That's what it looks like.
It looked like it, yeah.
So
What do you reckon though? I'm genuinely curious
what?
because like people always differentiate Hispanic and white, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that South Americans would be considered white if we're looking in that aspect purely?
So if you're not like if you're any type of Latino, yes, you would be classified as white, basically. Yes.
Interesting. Very interesting. Because the other thing that I found very interesting when I was
Has it
looking at
always
a
been
map,
this map? I mean, not always. I mean, but like as far as like the census, it's been like this for a while. I mean, it's I don't know
because
when it wasn't.
the other thing that I found interesting because we're talking about this is I looked at a map and I traced a line from New York, basically the Canadian American border, across to Europe. Do you know where it intersects?
Where?
Have a wild guess where the latitude line intersects.
With what? Canadian border?
Yeah, the American Canadian border, basically New York. If you trace a line over to Europe, do you know where it connects?
I mean, I would say it would be below Europe for New
Almost.
York.
It's the Mediterranean. It basically goes through the Mediterranean.
Like,
Right? And this came up because we were talking about the Native Americans. And he was saying that they all had migrated up from Mexico, and I'm like, no, that's not right. So I looked up the ones from your neck of the woods that I always forget the fucking name of, Iroquois, and they came down from Montreal, so they're from that area, and they are fairly tucked in.
the first like American civilization is the Olmecs, and they're like down in like the like prime territory down there, like Costa Rica, Mexico stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So just because they're the first civ, people think that it came out from there, but there's also the Alaska crossing. And we know that Vikings are also like came over as well.
Yeah.
Like there was Viking settlements, and there was so there's this it's the Clovis first theory. So basically all this like, you know, ancient aliens and Grant and Hancock, right? All those idiots.
Yeah.
So basically all they do is like try to disprove Clovis first. So the Clovis first is like basically it's we have everything points to the Clovis people being like the first civ in like this region
ever. Or
so,
just that region.
Named for the distinct bone tools found in close association with the Fauna and Columbian mammoths. So let's see. So it's 13,500 years before present.
Shit. Okay.
So that's how far back they are. So it's 10,000 BC is the Clovis. So there was people already here, but as far as we're talking about city structure, where when it stops being hunter-gatherer and a city comes together, the first was the Olmec, which is much later.
Okay. And they were in Central America.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, they just basically spread out.
Well, they definitely became like the Mayans and stuff.
Yeah, okay, but not
And the
necessarily
Mayans have a
North
lot of
American.
influence because they were like trade masters.
Yeah.
So the Olmecs are their civilization ends at 400 BC.
Okay, that's very early. Fucking hell.
But they're the guys who built the heads, the circular stone heads. These ones here. I got a picture.
Yeah,
These
because
guys.
I'm not sure what you mean.
These stone heads.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay, very interesting. But yeah, so I just thought it was very interesting that that line intersects with the Mediterranean, which kind of makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah, so
But then
this
they're
environment
also like,
can be compared to the other ancient civilizations: Nile, Indus, Yellow River, and Mesopotamia.
interesting.
Or Chinese prosperity initiatives or whatever. They're like, oh, dude, you're dick riding CCP. You're dick riding CCP, and you love everything China
And
does.
so
You're
Graham
fucking
Hancock's
China
big
step.
thing
You're
is to
China
be
step.
like somebody was before these
You're one of-
guys. That's Graham Hancock's pseudo science shit. There was a Civ before the Olmecs.
100% a China simp. It's like, no, I'm just being objective and reasonable in my analysis. Okay. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's so many people have this like very weird anti-intellectual, anti-curiosity approach to countries that we have declared our foreign adversaries, where it's like they're doing all the wrong things, we're doing some of the wrong things, but we all ultimately are doing it in the right way, right?
For the Chinese businesses that ByteDance owns, yes, it will be subject to this, but TikTok is not available in mainland China. And Senator, as we talked about in your office, we built Project Texas to put this out of reach.
So ByteDance is subject to the law. Now, under this law, which says shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of, it compels
Again, this is about children who killed themselves.
To lie, to protect those secrets. Is that correct?
I cannot comment on that. What I said again is that we have
because
moved
you
it
have
out
to
of reach
protect
to
those
this.
secrets?
No, Senator, TikTok is not available in mainland China. We have moved the data into an American cloud
TikTok
infrastructure.
is controlled by ByteDance, which is subject to this law. Now, you said earlier, and I wrote this down, we have not been asked.
By the way, this is FISA Court. Like, this is the same principle, I think, behind like the NSA having backdoor access, which for the record is not good. It's just like unimaginable for this to be anything but in China. The major difference, however, is that we do it in America and we say, these are the people who think that that's good. When
It's
America
just
does
funny
it.
because like
I think it's
Afghanistan
bad
specifically,
across the board.
like that country alone just shits on that U.S. census. You know, like
can't speak for Chinese nationals beyond saying that I don't think is a good thing that's inflicted upon a population, because that is my analysis in the Western world.
Because your analysis are always so astute. Let's skip to the actual video. I really don't give a shit about what he has to
just
say.
go to the Forbes coverage. Who cares about what Hasan
Jesus Christ,
says?
didn't they move the service?
Did they name like did they sing the anthem in all the languages? Is that's why it's long?
What are you talking about?
He said there's so many races in Afghanistan, our anthem is long because of it.
Oh, the chat.
Mhm.
Good, Mr. Zuckerberg. Before my time expires, Mr. Chu, let me just ask you, your platform, why should your platform not be banned in the United States of America?
Oh my God.
You are owned by a Chinese communist company or a company based in China. The editor-in-chief of your parent company is a
Mhm.
Communist Party secretary. Your company has been surveilling Americans for years.
True.
According to leaked audio from more than
Okay,
80
so it just
internal TikTok
names all the
meetings,
groups. Okay.
China-based employees of your company have repeatedly accessed
What language is
non-public
it in?
data of United States citizens.
Does it matter?
Your
Is it
company
different
has
for each one?
tracked journalists
I don't think it matters.
improperly gaining access to their IP addresses, user data in an attempt to identify whether they're writing negative stories about you. Why should your platform is basically an espionage arm for the Chinese Communist Party?
Okay,
Why
we
should
knew
it not be
this.
That's what I
banned in
would
the United
assume.
States of America?
Huh?
I said it's either going to be in Pashto or in the Persian dialect, the Afghan Persian. Could only be
Senator,
one or
I
the other.
disagree with your characterization. Many of what you have said, we have explained in a lot of detail. TikTok is used by 170 million Americans.
I
who
know, and
create
every single
love.
one of those Americans are in danger from the fact that you track their keystrokes, you track their
Sure.
app usage, you track their location data, and
Sure.
we know that all of that information can be accessed by Chinese employees who are subject to the dictates of the Chinese Communist Party.
Also true.
That is
Why,
not-
why should you not be banned in this country?
It should be banned.
I
Or
don't-
it should be surrendered to an American company.
That's
majority-
already what
majority.
they
It
already
did already?
this. Yes, long ago.
And it's fine. Then
Literally, that's what he's been trying to. He literally met with these people in their offices beforehand and explained it all to them too.
and they still
Yes, because it's a fucking performative stunt.
idiots. Fucking morons.
TikTok was literally
Senator,
like,
that is not accurate.
by,
A lot-
like to think of, like the company owns it. No shit.
But the
Okay.
majority stakeholder is American.
It's just like who cares who owns the company? Like the owner doesn't mean anything for a company. You know?
No. It's more the fact that the Chinese
understand,
government
I
has
understand, but
the stipulation that the data
But like
can be
Hasan
given to
said,
them
we
at
have
any point.
backdoors and shit too. And it's not like it's like it doesn't like this whole thing. They're trying to sell like the Chinese are using it for mind control and shit when it's just not what's happening.
Yeah, they're just selling it for money.
Yeah, everyone in Congress has to get a clip out of the hearing.
Hmm.
They're just picking
Lot
on
of
this
what-
guy the whole time.
Mm.
You describe we collect, we don't.
It is 100% accurate. Do you deny that repeatedly Americans' data has been accessed by ByteDance employees in China?
We built a project that cost us billions of dollars to stop that, and we have made a lot of progress.
And it hasn't been stopped. According to the Wall Street Journal report from just yesterday, even now, ByteDance workers, without going through official channels, have access to the private information of American citizens. I'm quoting from the article, private information of American citizens,
Yeah,
including their
we
birth date,
did do this
their
already
IP
during
address, and
COVID.
more.
Literally
That's
already
now.
happened. Again, this hearing is for kids who killed themselves because of social media, and the GOP has then hijacked it to talk to an Asian guy about why he's Chinese, even though he's not.
Senator, as we know, the media doesn't always get it right. What we have,
But the Chinese Communist Party does?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we spent billions of dollars to build this project. It's
Like, he's
rigorous, it's
literally
robust, it's
just a
unprecedented, and I'm
businessman,
proud
you
of the
know?
work that the two
He's just like it's like acting like he's
1,000
like
employees at the-
like he's just a hyper capitalist, bro. He's literally less evil than you. Like, come on.
willing to protect the data.
I thought
But
this
it's
was
not,
the
it's
old
not
hearing.
protected. That's the problem, Mr. Chu. It's not protected at all. It's subject to Communist Chinese Party inspection and review. Your app,
It
unlike
doesn't
any
matter
everybody
how
else
long he
sitting
tells
here,
him
and
no.
heaven
It's
knows
an
I've got
endurance.
problems with everybody
Until the
here.
time runs out, you know?
But your app, unlike any of those, is subject to the control and inspection of a foreign
There's
hostile
another
government.
clip with this same guy asking him why he's Chinese and shit.
You said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore.
Oh, this
Of
is the
what
one.
nation are you a citizen?
I can't tell why
Singapore.
people apart.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation
I'm
in
asking-
Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two
Do
and a
you
half
ha-
years in
Do you
Singapore.
have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's
Have you-
correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
What a
Have you ever
strange
been a
line
member
of
of the Chinese
questioning.
Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
They don't.
No,
You
Senator.
see how they
Again, I'm
like don't
Singaporean.
they
Let me
don't
ask you-
realize like how this comes off as racist? Like I
Yeah,
legit think they don't understand how this comes off as racist. Look at his face. He's like, what is
Yeah,
going
he's-
on?
Gobsmacked.
Bro,
But like,
like Singaporeans hate this shit.
no, I bet they do, but it's also it's like it's hard to say because they're not that far from.
They're ethnically Chinese,
Something-
but they don't want to be called
Yeah.
Chinese. you
No, they
know?
don't. But the Chinese Communist Party does have ties in Singapore and
Yeah, so
pretty
does
close
so does
with
the
business.
fucking so do these people
Yeah,
who are interrogating him.
but like, it's just it's so.
It's literally a
stupid.
business hub. That's where everyone. It's like
Yeah,
It's like Qatar is where we go to work with terrorists. Because Singapore is a business hub where all people can work together as businesses.
mm-hmm. That's the whole purpose of it, really.
You some hopefully simple question.
Even though Senator Tom Cotton thought he was cooking
The
with his
fuck
line
is
of
this?
citizenship questioning for TikTok CEO.
I don't give a shit.
Tom Cotton, bro, what a racist name. I
Hmm.
wonder how he got the name Cotton.
You said earlier, in response to your question, that what happened at Tiananmen Square in June of 1989 was a massive protest. Anything else happen in Tiananmen Square?
Yes, I think it's well documented. There was a massacre.
There was
yeah.
the indiscriminate slaughter of hundreds or thousands of
What the
Chinese
fuck?
citizens. Do you agree with the Trump administration and the Biden administration that the Chinese government is committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Senator, I've said this before. I think it's really important that anyone who cares about this topic or any topic can freely express
Very
themselves on
simple.
TikTok.
It's a very simple question that unites both parties in our
Oh my
country and
god.
governments around the world. Is the Chinese government committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Senator, anyone, including, you can come into
Yes, sir.
TikTok
Yes,
and
sir.
talk
Yes,
about
sir.
this
I'm
topic
asking you,
or
yes
any
or no.
topic
You
that
are a
matters to you.
worldly, cosmopolitan, well-educated
Oh
man
my
who's expressed
God.
many opinions on many topics. Is the Chinese government committing
Are
genocide
they going to
against
ask
the Uyghur
Facebook
people?
about the
Actually,
genocide
Senator,
they
I
did
talk
in
of
Myanmar?
mainly about
Myanmar
company-
that they actually caused, that actually is directly connected to them, unlike this, which is completely disconnected and a complete and utter bullshit line of questioning. There's a time and
They
place for
asked
this.
Taiwan.
This ain't
yet.
it. Jesus
Bro,
fucking
if someone from
Christ.
Taiwan was here, they'd be doing the same thing. Being like, is it Taiwan, China?
Mhm.
Can you say that your country isn't part of China?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yes-
here to
yes
talk
or-
about what
yes or
TikTok
no?
does.
Yes or no? You're here.
We
to give,
allow-
You're here to give testimony that's truthful and honest.
God, I
and
fucking
complete.
hate this guy.
Let me ask you this: Joe Biden last year said that Xi Jinping was a dictator. Do you agree with Joe Biden? Is Xi Jinping a dictator?
Senator, I'm not going to comment on any world leaders.
Tom Cotton knows that despite his wishes going unfulfilled, his colleagues could take objective.
Have some kind of information. Self-governed has been since 1959. Do you have some kind of information on this TikTok CEO that we should be aware of?
Well, first off, he acknowledged that TikTok is under the control of a company that has its own internal Chinese Communist Party committee. He himself worked for a company before he went to TikTok and ByteDance that was sanctioned by the United States government as a Chinese communist-controlled military company.
I love this
And
B-roll of
TikTok
somebody
and its parent
using
ByteDance.
TikTok on their phone.
Yeah. Filmed exactly.
You
how you
yellow
thought.
guy, do you condemn the crimes of Genghis Khan? Bro, so I watched a clip. I don't know what it's from. There's like an old Hitler show where it's like Hitler survived and he's like an old guy, right? And like he's like shooting trap, right? And like Eva Braun comes up to him and he says something like, I killed more people in 5 years than Genghis Khan did in his entire history. And then he punches Eva Braun in the face. And he's talking about how he's going to get a nuke to like drop on Manhattan or something. But the way that it was titled, I was like, it seems like this person agrees with Hitler because it was like a clip channel being like,
Yeah.
Hitler teaches Eva Braun a valuable lesson. I was like, it was a valuable lesson that he killed more people than Genghis Khan or the punch to the face.
Answers to China. And of course, you can be affiliated with or associated with the Chinese Communist Party anywhere in the world. The Biden administration has many cases against American citizens who have been collaborating.
now they're
with and
scrolling
working
the
on
App Store
behalf
on
of the
TikTok.
Chinese Communist
Yeah,
Party.
nice.
Singapore, unfortunately, is one of the places in the world that has the highest degree of infiltration and influence by the Chinese
It
Communist
sounds
Party.
like epic rap
So
battles.
Mr. Chu has a lot to answer for what his app is doing in America
Uh-huh.
and why it's doing it.
Elected officials have been concerned about TikTok into the like of must evidence.
Member of this member
Hey,
of
more.
questioning, and I'll just ask you again: do you have any evidence that he's a member of the CCP?
No, Martha, what I have is his record of working at companies that have been sanctioned.
That's a big fat no. Mr. Cotton, it's a yes or no question. Just like you asked, it's a very simple yes or no question. The answer is no.
Mao versus
no.
Chiang Kai-shek, epic rap battles of history.
No. That'd be a good one. Talk about how he ran over the mountains, ran away while the nationalists got slaughtered by the Japanese. Then he comes back
It was
acting
a
all
tactic
tough.
retreat. Strategy. He outsmarted the nationalists.
Mr. Chu, I think your company is unique among the ones represented here today because of its
Because you're Asian.
by ByteDance, a Chinese company. And I know there have been some steps that you've taken to.
Out of everything
off
I've
the
seen from
data
this hearing, I don't think
collected here
anyone
tonight.
asked him about the children on the app and the safety there at all.
Haven't heard a single question about it yet.
States, but the fact of the matter is that under Chinese law and Chinese national intelligence laws,
They all need to
all
ask him the same
information
fucking
accumulated
question,
by
bro.
It's the same
companies in
question,
the
yeah.
People's Republic of China are required to be shared with the Chinese intelligence services. ByteDance, the initial.
You know what
release
he's
of
thinking
TikTok,
right
I
now?
understand,
Thank
was
God
in
this
2016.
guy is old as fuck and can't talk because the timer's gonna run out sooner.
16. These efforts that you made with Oracle under the so-called Project Texas to wall off the U.S. data was in 2021 and apparently allegedly fully walled off in March of 23. What happened to all of the data that TikTok collected before that?
Senator, thank you.
From America.
Not an awful question, kind of related to the topic. Because it's related to the data, which would include the kids' data. Yeah? Yeah? Old
Well,
man's got something.
It's not about data. It's about
I
how
know, it's
there's
about their
predators
safety.
online.
Yeah. So
So-
realistically, it's nothing. It's still fucked up. But it's closer.
Users.
Understand. TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is majority owned by global investors, and we have 3 Americans on the board out of 5. You are right in pointing out that over the last 3 years, we have spent billions of dollars building out Project Texas, which is a plan that is unprecedented in our industry to firewall off protected U.S. data from the rest of our staff.
And I'm,
We
asking,
also
and
have-
I'm asking about all of the data that you collected prior to that event.
Yes, Senator. We have started a data deletion plan.
Anvilish? Like you can sharpen a sword on his head? Is that what we're saying?
He's got a heck of a bum chin, that's for sure.
We have finished the first phase of data deletion through our data centers.
He's such
outside
a
of
bureaucrat, he
the Oracle
produces
cloud
pencils from that
infrastructure.
hole in
We're
his
beginning
chin.
phase 2, where we will not only delete from the data centers, we will hire a third party to
Already
verify that
perfectly
work,
sharpened.
and then we will go into, for example, employees' working laptops to delete that as well.
Was all of the data collected by TikTok prior to Project Texas shared with the Chinese government pursuant to the national intelligence laws? Is that country?
Senator, we have not been asked for any data by the Chinese government, and we have never provided it.
Cool. Yeah, they just take it.
God, this is so good.
They
for
literally
him.
just
I
take
hate
it.
I hate that it's so good for him because.
Are you aware of a CIA psychological profile about you, sir? Would you be interested in hearing what the CIA had to say? This secret study portrays as a brilliant but dangerous megalomaniac who is likely to pursue his own aims in disregard of U.S. interests. He's an uncertain ally. Shall I go on, or would you prefer that I stop, sir?